The effectiveness of work against the gun is determined by the distance. When the distance is very close, when the gun is pressed right up against you, and when the gun is still behind the belt of the opponent, when there is a middle distance when you can reach the gun with your hand, and a further distance when you are unable to reach the gun. Again, when you're working against the gun, important to remember, and when you're practicing this seriously, either you have to work with a real gun, or you have to work with a replica of a gun, which has to have the same color, the weight, and has to have the same shape as the gun. Because in a real situation, when the gun is pointed at you, so you don't have a psychological barrier to overcome the gun, just so that your work and your biomechanics and your working against the gun has been trained properly. For example, the gun is still in the pocket. This is how you take that out in certain situations. Take a look. This is where the gun is in the pocket. With your left hand, you close up the pocket. You grab a hold of the pants and you don't let him pull the gun out. You sort of strike the hand from up above and grab by the cloth of the pant. By this, you cannot take the gun out. Similarly, you can do the same thing with your right hand. This is the very first step in how not to let him take the gun. This is with the left hand, and this is with the right hand. After you've clenched the cloth, you can start working against the elbow. Typically, you bring the elbow towards you, after which you can strike with your knee, and as well you can grab him by the hair from behind. And once again, so you're not letting him take the gun out, pull the elbow towards you, and you rip your hand out from the pocket. Look, when he's grabbed the gun, you bend him, and from that position it's more difficult for him to take the gun out than when he's standing straight. But it's easier for me to rip his hand out when he's in a bent position. So I grab him from behind by the hair, or by his clothing, or by his chin and pull his head to the side. Or you can do a choke. Similarly, when you do it to the right hand, you're not letting him take it out from the pocket, and you grab him in much the same way as before. Most importantly, when you're working against a person, you need to see both of his hands at the same time. If the person turns to you with his left side, and I've lost his hand which is going for the gun, but I suspect that he's going to pull the gun out, you should start working against the left hand immediately. So you would jerk him by the left hand and take the gun away. For example, in this situation, it doesn't matter if the gun is behind the belt from the back. If he turns his side to me, so take a look from this side, as soon as I pull by the arm, the gun is turned into the other way away from me. After which I need to grab a hold of the hand that's holding the gun. And usually you grab by the pinky finger so that he loses control. So again, when the gun is in behind the belt, in between us there's a certain distance. Again, I have to control his arms. I see when he's turning to the side. So usually there's a trip-like kick, and then a jerking of the arm, and then I can eliminate the gun from the opponent. There's that work again. I trip him up, and taking away the gun. So if this example is shown quickly, this is how it looks. And you can lift the head here by the hair and hit him with your knee. Again, when the gun is in the front and you can't see it because you're working from behind. In this situation, you put the elbow a bit forward. My knee goes into the back of his leg, and my foot hits him on the side of his leg. You press down with your thumb on a couple of points so that his grip loosens. Similarly, if you take a look at my elbow, it goes right for the face of the opponent, after which I put my knee on his chest. This enables me to put him on his stomach. Then you twist your body just a bit to the side, so that you put his hand on his back. Again, if you look at my leg now, and you've got a pain threshold created there. One other thing I want to say, you're working against the gun. It's most importantly to move away from the direction of the gun. In this next example, you'll see when the gun is pressed right up against you. There are a number of ways of knocking the gun out from the hand in this situation. You twist your body to the side. Your hand goes at the base of the wrist, after which you just twist your body. And thanks to this leverage point, you can easily remove the gun. For example, see, our wrist is set up such a way that as soon as I bend it, our fingers automatically open up. Again, it doesn't matter if the gun is at your stomach or if it's at the chest. Twist the body. You will open up your body as if you've taken a deep breath. Then bring the arm towards you as tight as possible and start twisting the body to the side. After which you can pull the gun out with your hand. Again, when you're working with a real gun, it's much easier to remove the gun than when you're working with a replica, let's say a wooden one. In this case, you can work using the thumb of your right hand. Move to the side and you remove the gun. Again, you grab the gun and you can control the opponent, hit him with the gun. So you're working in a triangular fashion, 1, 2, and 3. Again, you're holding the gun in this way, and you work by sort of a twisting, spinning motion. And you're always hitting with the metallic. Again, so when there's contact, you can remove the gun. These are the most basic movements. When you make an L shape with your fingers, and you just squeeze on the fingers if you can pull on the trigger. One finger is pressed against the barrel and the other one is pressing down on the joint of the index finger. The fingernail is pressed against the trigger guard and creates